Okay, so do we have a audience already, or am I talking alone still? We do have a lot of games, 10 games total. So after we get more people online, then we can start watching and making a small replay review. Yeah, I hope this evening will be, at least it will be interesting, and yeah. So if you are able, please join us on the Discord, cast the stream, and chat with us. So there will be plenty of good games tonight, and hopefully there will be a lot of people joining our small community stream.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing?
Hello, welcome to the stream.
Good to be here as always.
We do have some interesting games, and also we do have celebrity, not celebrity, but made by a celebrity bot. So Scarlett has joined our small community, and she has made a bot. So yeah,
Wow.
will be interesting to see what's going to happen.
I thought you were talking about me for a moment. I'm like, I'm not that famous just yet. No, but it's great to have her along anyway.
That will be even bigger event when you have your bot on the ladder. So we are still waiting. We are still waiting.
It was for a while, and then it's like it will be again soon.
But are there more new authors now than before? It seems to me somehow that there's more new people joining, but I don't know. That's quite interesting.
It's quite exciting. I think it's there's been a bunch of new authors recently, which is really good. So hopefully that continues.
That's brilliant that we are having new blood on the ladder. So it will be, new people are always welcome to our small community. So it's great to have new people and new authors. Yeah.
Always good to have a few more bots to play against as well.
Exactly. And there will be new ideas, new approaches, how to make a bot, how to do in the ladder. So it doesn't have to be the most refined bot to enter the ladder. Even the simple one can do relatively well on the ladder, even though there's a lot of good bots like Micro Machines, Cybernet, Genzi, and so on. So there's still room for more.
Yeah. We saw talking about simple bots. We saw like Ketrox bot with the drone drill. It's like very simple bot, got quite high on the ladder. So it doesn't have to be massively advanced to do well.
You're absolutely correct. It doesn't have to be able to solve every situation. Just do one thing really effectively, and that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe I should start queuing up the games.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
The first one is Anibot versus Braxbot. Braxbot is, I think, low on the ladder, but sometimes it makes exceptionally good games. So I decided to share this one with you.
You can definitely pull out a surprise.
And the second one will be Additional Pylons versus Ketrock. Ketrock is quite high on the ladder at the moment. Additional Pylons hasn't been updated for a while, but still is able to beat some of the top tier bots.
Yeah.
And after that, we are going to have Micro Machine versus Tur E. So I think this is the one must game for every single community stream where Micro Machine will be losing. So I think this is one of those games.
Yeah, we don't like to let it get ahead of itself. It's we know it's top. We know it's always going to be on.
Raf got one ID where it's apparently losing to Gen Z in a 25-minute game, or Gen Z's test bot.
Okay.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I saw that result also. So I also did check the game. So that was I think Gen Z did a really great job with that game.
Yeah, should we move this one on? I think we're pretty much done with this. So
yeah, if you can, or you already did restart the game. That's good.
Yeah, I think we get on with the first one.
I'll queue up the rest of the games. So please comment the upcoming game, and I will join you on the chat once I have queued up all the games.
Yeah, cool. So I think the first one is one of your ones, isn't it, Savlas?
Yes, that's correct. My bot is not on the highlight here. It's the Braxbot that
Okay.
did perform exceptionally good in this game.
Cool.
So is that
Sorry, go ahead.
Is that a new bot too?
I think so. It's not one I've really seen before. So Protoss bots. I always like the Protoss bots, don't worry.
From October, so pretty new.
Wait, is that building, I can't see the production tab, but is that building like a cannon straight off in its own base? I'm not sure. Oh no, it's a gateway. Sorry, it looked a bit small to be a gateway, but obviously I'm just not looking properly. But yeah, how's your bot coming along anyway, Spud?
Well, I just restarted this weekend, so hopefully in some weeks I have some new things to show, probably.
Nice. Yeah. I hope to have one on ladder soon. I'm just being too lazy at the moment, I think, is the problem. I need to get over that.
Yeah. Yeah, for me also it's sort of like everything I want to change is a bigger change, so like it's a bit sort of like there's some resistance to get started with it. It's not just changing a few lines.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. It gets to a point where you've done all the simple stuff and the only thing left over to do is the stuff that you really don't want to do.
Yeah, or at least it requires some thinking in terms of how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, this game looks kind of interesting. It looks like there's just kind of a bit of a truce of like.
So Annie is expanding on the third base. That's interesting.
Taking the three-way lover special, I think we're calling it from now on.
Yeah, but on this map it's not very hidden. But
yeah.
I think if there's anything at all in the natural, my bot will just skip that expansion and go to the next one. It can be only a scouting probe or something, and then it skips the natural.
Okay. Also, there's
It's better.
DTs.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like some kind of attacks. Oh, some nice DTs coming over. There's no real detection there. Okay, got some detection there. You try
I
and
think my
save.
prop.
So do you try and save like the energy for some scans, or are you just like using it all? I guess.
Yeah, I think this will be an end of my bot, so this will be a short game.
Yeah.
Do you save energy for scans, like, or is it just by coincidence that you have energy for those? Like,
I do save energy on some strategies, and I think this was a little bit bad luck. This strategy is not saving any energy, so it's using everything on minerals.
yeah.
And then you've got your nice little command center flying away. Oh, if Braxbot doesn't actually detect that, you could actually rebuild from here. Although, yeah, you've got no workers, but you've got mules, so
I'm not sure. Does it send mules to a damaged command center? I think there's a check if there's a damaged command center. Don't send mules there. So.
Oh wait, it's not an orbital command, isn't it? So you haven't got mules. It's just a straight command center.
Yeah, it could be just a command center, not even orbital command. But even with the orbital commands, it doesn't send mules to damaged orbital command or any other town hall.
Okay. But yeah, I wasn't sure if that was damaged or not.
But anyways, I think the game is over. Will you do the honors and skip to the next game?
Yeah, I just see your command center floating back. It's like, hey, suicide. I think it done it anyway. That's good. So
Yeah,
what was
go back
telling you?
home.
What was telling your command center there to just float back over into the enemy army? Was it just like a kind of go home code, or?
I think there was enemies nearby, so it decided to flee back home.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
GG.
Yeah, that was fun.
Short and fun game.
Oh, we like those. Yeah. Oh, hey, Elad. How's it going?
Guys, what's up? Good evening.
And Ketrock as well. Welcome.
Or not evening for Ketrock, I know.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Welcome to the stream.
Thank you. I haven't been here last week, so I missed it a lot. Wood, I just wanted to tell you that I feel you, man. It's I've been there more than once. Like when you keep monkey patching your code and stick it together and it somehow works, and you delay like the big refactor. I know what you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I don't sort of care that much about. Like, it's just that, like, it's not so much about refactoring. It's more just sort of like extending the functionality in general, that you have to actually think more about like how you want it to work. It's not so much just coding it, but sort of like I don't know exactly how I want it to work.
Yeah, it makes sense. Hey, Lost Lucidity, I'm glad you could make it, and I know it's a weird time for you over there. Also on the other.
It's true. Jens is saying that go for long walks. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just like first spend 5 hours sitting here watching StarCraft, and then go for a 2-hour walk thinking about StarCraft. That's the plan.
Yeah, then come back and dream about StarCraft when you sleep, if you sleep. mad. And people think we're obsessed.
Hedrock, how have you been? I think your microphone is muted, if I'd had to guess.
He's not on mute, but we can't hear him.
Yeah, it could be like an external mute, not via Discord.
Yeah.
Okay, so Savelas also not talking?
So is
Oh,
this
he's around. He's around.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I was just about to say that is this going to be a Mass Tempest against Mass Raven, or how is this going to end?
Oh, okay, yeah. I think you're right.
Oh yeah. So I was going to ask why this game is special, because it's starting to look like a non-standard game, even in Ketrock's standards.
Yeah. I noticed
So
Ketrock does like to take the gold base on here, but
Hmm.
yeah, Ketrock seems to deal with Tempest very well. So, but the problem
I
we're going to
think
run
the
into,
gold base.
yeah, the problem you're going to
I
run
think
into. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you first.
Yeah, the gold base is quite a bit of a double-edged sword. You can get a little bit ahead of your enemy if you're able to keep it long enough, but there's also a chance that you're losing the base and all the workers mining there, so it's not always guaranteed to have a success.
yeah, it's a high payoff, a high risk, high reward kind of choice, I would say.
Yeah, in a situation like this, I think Tempest have got a nice easy job because if there's any land units, they can just skip over either side of the barrier, and the land units can't follow. I think he's got some Vikings there.
I'm really not sure how Ketrock is dealing with this. It's starting to get to a mass of Tempests that are just not going to die. Not easily. anyway.
There's not really enough Vikings. I don't think there will be, because of the production rate of additional pylons is a lot higher. Supply still higher at the moment.
Yeah, the Vikings are avoiding engaging, probably because Ketrock has a rule. I remember he talked about it, like 3 Vikings for each Tempest. So if they don't meet the required number, the threshold hold, they don't engage. So there are edge cases when the Tempest times 3 is more than 200 supply. So his Vikings just don't engage.
Yeah, this is going to be a problem.
I think in this kind of situation, you need some Marines backing up the Vikings and just dive in at some point. You just can't wait long enough.
Yeah, just 200 supply of stimmed Marines, and you might be getting somewhere.
Welcome to the stream. I am left-handed. That's an interesting question you're asking. Yes, you're definitely the opponent ID is made available for you. Maybe on specific tournament it will not, but it will be discussed beforehand. And you can adjust yourself to your opponent as much as you'd like. There is no problem with that.
A lot of the bots will actually save data about like which opponent they're playing against. So on AI Arena we have like a specific opponent ID, so they don't know the actual name of the bot, but they can tell by the ID. So that way you can't necessarily code like, okay, do this against three-way lover or whatever. But if you manage to get the opponent ID and figure out which one's three-way lover, then you can code all you like. Just using three-way lover as an example, because not really, but yeah.
Back in
No,
the day, back in the day, I did have something prepared for the Micro Machine, but the code doesn't work anymore against Micro Machine, so I don't use it anymore. But you can actually figure it out from the web page what ID does any bot have. So you can basically check from the web page what ID does Micro Machine have.
Yeah, it's very hackable.
Yeah.
Annoyingly very hackable. I think it should already be exposed, and that's it.
It's
That's my
possible.
opinion.
Originally
mean,
it was
you
just
can
so
just
it couldn't be easily kind of like just coded for, but I don't see why not, to be honest, at the moment. Like,
you can save history locally
Yeah.
of your bot versus his opponents. I think it's fine. You can analyze it locally. You can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I think that's enough Vikings, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the point of the when you get like, okay, let's call this threshold shitload. When you get to shitload of Vikings, you need to go.
Yes, definitely. Like I
Yeah,
think
you
you need.
just can't wait anymore, so you have to go and dive.
I think we
Yeah.
need to define the exact quantity of a technical shitload of Vikings.
Well, that.
Yes.
Well, he's making 5 per cycle, so
Yeah,
maybe
that's actually pretty
maybe it's
good
worth
now.
like, oh, it's going in now. Okay, so
Yeah.
it was waiting like for one more cycle or something, which is fine.
Yeah.
I like that how they're just
Additional pylons has already a bank, so he's able to replace all the lost Tempest quite fast.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
But
actually back
Ketlok
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello,
Hey,
Ketlok.
I joined and then
so,
I immediately had to take off. So now I'm actually here.
Yeah,
I see my butt is
I-
getting its butt kicked by additional pylons here.
Yeah.
we were just talking about your ratio rule for like 3 Vikings per Tempest, and when the Tempest count is too high, it cannot that condition cannot be met. Or did you fix that already?
It's a complicated logic and it's not good. Or it's not perfect, that's for sure. I think it's like 1.5 per Tempest, but there's also considerations on how much other anti-air he has. So if the Tempest is above a whole bunch of stalkers, then they might not charge in.
I do like the
Yeah.
map state here.
Ah.
It seems to be like entirely 50-50 split on the map, like right down the middle at the moment.
Yeah, and they both got the gold base
Yeah.
almost at the same time, which was also funny to me. Like units were fighting in the middle of the map, Tempests were like running back and forth, and both of them have the gold base mining.
Yeah.
Like 10-meter away, there is a fight, and here the miners are just doing their job, and that's it.
Oh god, that. I'm surprised it didn't go after the mothership. That would have been.
Yeah, it
big
considers mothership, tempests, and carriers all as like the similar unit. So I was surprised it didn't dive the mothership either, since it was the closest target.
Yeah.
Why do I
Yeah,
not
no,
have a natural?
It's
What the hell's going
ignoring
on there?
the mothership.
Yeah.
It's definitely ignoring the mothership. It should have prioritized it before.
So just quickly in chat, I am left-handed asks, how often do you change the bot code? You can change it as often as you like. It's all on the ladder. We've got AIarena.net ladder and the SC2AI.net ladder, and you can basically upload bots whenever you like and then change them whenever you like. And Jancy says 10 times a day. I'm not sure
10
I believe that.
Well,
Although
that's not the limit. That's Gen Z's average. That's not the limit.
yes.
That's what
Well.
he's averaging. So
Yes. Yeah. It's
How often you change it and how often you upload it to AI Arena could be two very different things too.
Yeah.
Because we do a lot of our testing locally.
yeah,
Wait,
sometimes you don't want to expose your new trick so fast.
Wait,
Oh yeah,
you-
I'm totally ignoring the mothership, and that's a big issue. Because
That's
then
a
I can't
big
even
issue.
see the
Yeah.
units because they're cloaked.
Your
I'm
Vikings
surprised.
were like I saw how like I kind of could have predict by what logic they are choosing their target, and then I saw they just skipped the mothership when they should definitely have targeted it.
Yeah, that's a bug. I think the other thing I have is I don't dive Vikings while there's still Void Razor, Phoenix out there. Wait till I finish kiting those from range, and then before I even decide to dive.
Have you tried mines? Oh, actually, no,
Yeah, I was thinking of trying them versus
nobody's
Cyclones
going.
because they're really good at killing Cyclones in one shot, and Cyclones are a big pain in the butt for me. But yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
no.
believe in
When
them
I
just because bots can see
say
them.
mines, yeah, exactly. No Protoss bot is going to fly his Tempest over a minefield. They are going to know
Yeah.
that it's there. So
Well, mines
yeah,
are quite a bit faster than Tempest, so you
yeah.
can
If you
run underneath
go
the
and
Tempest,
burrow
and
under
if you
them,
have drilling
yeah, I
claws, you
used
can get
to do
down.
that.
Yeah,
The
that's
Tempest
fine.
usually run away from the target, so that means they'll probably all fan out in different directions rather than stay in a big clump.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
also
but
like
I was thinking like baiting them into mines, like kiting back and making them chase you, but they will see the mine, so
they will
it's
see that. Yeah, they won't fall for that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, that would be hard to implement, but I think that would work. You put a pile of mines behind their Tempest, so then charge in with your Vikings and see what happens.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see what you mean with that one. Yeah,
Anything involving
that's a good
flanking is
idea.
going to be really a pain in the butt to code.
yeah.
Yeah, I know Raspberry is experimenting with that a lot lately.
Yeah,
I think
Zerg
you
is
can
probably the
just
best race to try that.
I think you
Yeah,
can just run the mines under the tempests and burrow before they are able to flee. So I think that's a chance. I haven't tried that, but I think it should work at least at some extent.
Have you tried mines versus
It-
Terran? Like, do you see how well they perform versus the Cyclones of like Straylock or Micro Machine?
I have
Well,
not.
it's pointless to use mines against Micro Machine, but other bots do. Not all the bots evade mines, so some bots
I
really die
disagree
on the
with
minefields.
I see.
a mine is not. If he can see it and avoid it, that doesn't make it pointless. I would put mines in places I want him to avoid and exploit it that way. Um,
Yeah, but
like
it doesn't deal with the Cyclones, which is the issue in TBT.
yeah, I got it.
So the
Yeah, I
cyclones
think
are
the other
really
thing is I can
power
identify
units.
tops of ramps, so I can put them out on the field just at the top of ramp. Like anytime they go up a high ground, by the time they see the mine, it'll be too late. They'll already get hit.
Yeah, if they need to get vision themselves, yeah, definitely.
Because
That's
for human play, mines are a great counter to Cyclone. It's probably the most expensive unit that a mine can one shot in the entire game.
Yeah, that's correct.
Gen Z and his typos. Yeah, Mince. Oh, this is depressing. We've seen this narrative so many times.
Yeah,
The
it's
Must
just
Ends are
slowly the
eating
Prime
yeah,
Tempest. Yeah,
I think
Oh,
we can skip to the next game. I mean, if
yeah, I think
Ketrock
so
was
too.
targeting the mothership, then maybe there is something to see. But without targeting the mothership, I don't think you stand it. Actually, is it dead? Where is it?
the mothership is still alive, I think.
You can still randomly get
Maybe
hit.
it
But
Yeah,
no, maybe it flew under turrets, above turrets or something like that.
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I think this one is pretty much over.
look at the bank.
Yeah.
23k minerals.
Yeah, I think
It's a
he
lot
At
of
can.
least my
minerals.
units don't sit in my main base mineral line. I've now taught them to kite back even further when
Yeah.
the attack reaches that far in.
I mean, at this point, you could just literally throw up a few gateways, suicide some of the Tempests, and just continually throw out zealots at everything. You
I'm
have
gonna
that
skip
much.
next
Yeah,
game.
yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's make mincemeat of this game.
The next game will be Micro Machine versus Turpie.
Oh, is this the obligatory Micro Machine loss of the week?
Yeah, I think
Is
this is one of
this-
those games.
Wait, it's what Ruff requested, or
No, this is a different one, I think. Raf
Okay.
requested. Yeah, that one's coming up later. But yeah, this is.
okay, interesting. Because Ruff already requested one game of this. He hopes Micro Machine will.
Yeah, Raf wrote a game in chat as well. I'm not sure if you have that on the list.
We do. I think that's last in the list at the moment.
Okay.
So,
What game you were referring to, Getrock?
396694. Raf wrote it in chat at 2:30. Or sorry, like 7 minutes ago.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
not.
No, I don't.
Oh, 2:10.
I don't have
Sorry,
that
27
one.
minutes ago.
okay, it's not in chat. It's not in the queue then.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll add it.
He's like, how I like to see Micro's Machine lose instead of getting sniped.
Yeah. I guess he got
Oh.
lost. He lost the game fair and square. I wonder against who.
I think it was a game against Gensi, was it?
Did Tier just create a little pylon wall to build his first cannon? Is that
Oh
what I saw?
wow, that's actually good. I like that.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant. I love that.
Yeah. I always say like cannon rushes are so easy to hold because no bot does that yet. But as soon as a bot starts doing that, there's going to be a whole big headache to hold a cannon rush.
Well, it still needs to do it well. The idea is to reduce the surface area when you send your workers to
Yeah.
kill the pylon. But yeah, it could be unstoppable. Like you have to lift and move away if it's placed correctly.
I mean, this is actually pretty good positioning as well, because I'm not sure if those cannons can hit the low ground from there. I don't know if we can get a look at that. But yeah, possibly not actually. But yeah, if those cannons could have hit the low ground as the worker line there as well, that would have been amazing.
You can probably hit the gas down there.
Yeah,
And it's not taken at the moment, but yeah, it can't actually hit any mining workers.
Yeah,
But
I
he has a
wonder
pretty quick
why-
follow up to stalkers, so I think it's okay.
And the marauders are stuck.
yeah.
I mean, they could be holding the stalkers. Stalkers are attacking the natural right now.
Yeah, I think Micro Machine will be losing both bases quite soon.
So Ketrock, there's a question in chat about can your bot handle expansions that are blocked by depots or other buildings, or how do you handle that?
Let me think. Yeah, I'll take the next expansion, and then I like to use my Raven to clear bases that are taken. Just so that way, if I use my Raven to clear blocked bases, it also handles things like creep and burrowed zerglings and widow mines, just because I have the detection built in. But yeah, if I try to take my natural and there's a depot there, I'll just take my third base.
Yeah, creep can be a nightmare to deal with.
Yeah, it's any good creep bot can often win games against
Yeah.
me just by creep alone. They keep you busy with your army, and you never end up drilling out like the blocked bases by creep, and then you just get stuck on 3 or 4 bases for the entirety of the game.
Yeah.
So I put work into that like a month ago. My bot's maybe 2 months ago. My bot's pretty good
Is-
now clearing bases.
Is Tyr here?
I don't think he is.
Well, Tyr,
I don't see him.
nice placement on that first cannon, that first and
Yeah.
only cannon, which was really on a sweet spot that just did everything.
Yeah, I wonder if he just had like the one pylon forward, or whether he created a whole pylon wall, built the cannon, and then later canceled one of the pylons. Because if he did the full wall, then that's going to be next level to deal with.
Yeah.
This game will be Harvester versus Lucid.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Lucy JS, nice, and
Yeah.
he's here with chat. That's the author is Lost Lucidity in chat, and the author of Harvester is Dr. Infi, who is also with us, I believe.
I haven't
I
seen
think he
him.
is.
He's probably hiding from us. I haven't seen him tonight.
Yeah, he's always hiding,
Yeah,
lurking in the shadows.
waiting out there to snipe people.
Nah, he's,
Right.
he's a
Yeah.
very busy individual. No
Yeah.
joke there.
So Lucid joined the AI Arena ladder recently, but this is not a new bot, right? This is one that's been
Not a new
worked on for quite a while.
author.
So I think he had
Not a new
a
author, yeah.
previous, not a new author. There's a previous one that he had with on SC2AI that I believe was Python, and then I think he switched to JS now. So, but I've not actually looked at the JS API at all, so I don't know how easy it is to use, but it's pretty cool. Imphy's in chat saying he's listening, so that's good. We can't
Does
abuse
anyone
him
follow
so
the
much, guys. It's
JavaScript?
fine.
Right.
No, only kidding. Go.
Does anyone follow the JavaScript channel on Discord? Because I noticed it's usually pretty active, and it always has been as long as I've been around. But until Lucid, this is the first JavaScript bot I've seen on the AI Arena ladder. So
Yeah, there was a
it seems
couple
like
before.
there's activity going on there, but no one. But this is like the first live bot.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but there are definitely one, maybe two bots that are using JavaScript for. Oh God. So can't remember who it was now.
Hmm.
I will probably remember at some point soon.
Zsock
Zsock,
is,
yes.
yeah, Zsock is
Zsock.
the guy maintaining the API, the JavaScript API.
Okay,
I'm asking.
that's
I'm
good. It's
not
actually
saying.
maintained.
Yes, yeah, he is. He had a bot on the ladder probably about a year ago. Although I don't think he's he's not been too active recently, but I think he's still hanging around. So, you know.
All right.
I see.
So, Lucid, how about you tell us about? I know your bot is filled up with new features, and probably new are being added all the time. So, how about you tell us what your bot knows how to do so far? So far, I like what I see. I see the creep spread, the managing of the queens, the injects.
I'd like to just point out that the harvester just ported in a zealot on the little platform there. I think that zealot's probably gonna get stuck there for the entire game, poor thing. But
That's so unfortunate.
imagine being that zealot. It's like, no, let me out.
Where I can.
If we go back to his main base, so you see the little platform down there, like right at the top of the screen right now. Let's just switch away.
It's making sure that no Reapers come in.
Yeah. Oh, good point.
Oh.
Actually, yeah. Like the Reaper
That's a
list.
suspicious changeling.
It's like it hogging the Reaper spot. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see that zealot. Yeah. It's probably like make it and forget it. Like Infi just probably raged one time and like, fuck it, the zealot is going to be there the whole game. No
Yeah.
Reaper is coming in.
See, I actually don't think that was deliberate. I think that was probably just to like just find a position to warp him in, and it happens to be there.
Yeah.
Poor zealot.
Probably.
It happens all the time with stalkers. They
Yeah.
blink on those Reaper jump spots, and then they never blink out for the entirety of the game. Because usually the only reason to blink is because you're being attacked or you want to get on top of the enemy. There's never any logic to blink because you're stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that should be easy to implement to blink out if you're stuck.
Yeah, but the zealot
Yeah,
that's
it's just
more
something you never
in
think
there.
of the code.
Well, I think
And
it's a too small issue to actually spend time on it.
Lucid, interesting. Okay, so yeah, as well suited for a Zerg, your bot is reacting to the situation. What units? I see Roach Hydra. Do you have units that you control better, or you don't use at all because you didn't write any microcode for them, or how are you with controlling units?
Oh, that Pro Bowl.
Hydras are actually doing quite well job against the Tempests.
Yeah, I mean, Hydras are really good counters to Tempests. Like they blitz through them in almost no time.
I have a suggestion for people who use. I'm not sure if it's the base Python API or whether it's Sharpie, but I know there's like an option to like turn off the pulling workers to attack, and I would suggest doing that because I'd say like 19 out of 20 times I see workers get pulled, it's a bad idea by bots. It's always like really rough.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably Sharpie thing.
Yeah,
I
I
ma-
think
I mainly try to save all the workers. Just flee when you can.
yeah.
Or
Probably
just keep mining. Just you know,
yeah.
like anything, but just pulling workers. Keep
Most of
mining
the
is
time,
fine
it's
as
just
well.
too late. It's the problem. Like it doesn't go in. If they detect a massive army at their gates, they're not immediately pulling workers. They're waiting for their entire army to get blitzed first, and then coming in after that when there's no army supply left. Whereas
Yeah.
if you get the workers to fight actually with the army, that's a lot more effective. But you either
Yeah,
have
I
to kill
mean,
them then, or
the
not
logic to
at
make it
all.
work correctly would be you have to detect that your army can't handle his army, and then you
Yeah.
pull workers with your army to attack together.
Yeah,
It can't just be like, okay, when
exactly.
enemies are this close to my base, I pull my workers, because that was just gonna, for the most part, be
It's
a bad idea.
Yeah, I think that you're
Although
correct about that.
that last Pro Bowl actually wasn't that bad. After
Oh.
saying all this, there's actually one that worked out okay for him.
yeah. That wasn't too bad. Although we just noticed that there were 4 units stuck on the bottom platform there. I don't know if we could get a look.
On
Just
the
there's
Reaper
fit
thing.
so many units.
Yeah.
Maybe he's warping them in there or something. Or he must be if they're zealots, I guess.
Yep. But at least we know he's safe from Reapers, especially against a Zerg opponent.
Yeah, I think that's a safe place to have those units.
Nice flood out of Lucid. Definitely a macro victory. I think the fights are, somewhat even, but just expanding, taking the whole map, constantly
Yeah.
remaxing. Harvester can't handle it, especially with how low the DPS of Tempests are.
Actually, this is surprisingly good composition against the Tempests and all the other units. So really impressive. Do you Lucidity? Do you somehow adjust the unit composition during the game?
I would guess the Hydra count would be probably based on units error.
Would that be a good idea to just adjust the Hydra amount based on the enemy air units?
Although maybe it doesn't. It looks pretty uniform. I'm not sure if he's...
Yeah.
Okay, no, random between the 3 types.
Cool.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
I'm sorry, I missed the last question. I had to restart my router because my internet started to.
Lewis is just saying that he randomly builds, like his composition is based on randomly selecting between Lings, Roaches, and Hydras.
Okay.
Which I can see
like-
might be an issue. Like if like my bot, for instance, are probably focused down the Hydras first. So if I'm always focusing Hydras and my opponent's always randomly choosing units, at some point he's going to end up with just Roaches and Zerglings.
Yeah, nothing that shoots up. So yeah, definitely.
maybe it's random based on. No, I don't know.
That Zealot and that Sentry got warped in over there. It's probably a very, very unique edge case in the warp in, like some validation that
Well-
nobody has ever thought about doing.
Yeah, interestingly, there
That's-
were 3 zealots on that
You're not
platform
for-
that have all gone. I'm wondering if they got taken out by the roaches or the hydras.
Must
Yeah,
have.
I just saw a Zealot
Yeah,
die.
they were taken
on
out,
that
but
platform.
they were shot from the low ground. There was some
Yeah.
vision over there, and they were killed.
Okay.
I think at this point of the game, or any point of the game where you're pushing the Protoss back, and he's got Tempest, I think roaches actually outperform hydras. When you're just trying to flood and like just overwhelm and take out his bases, then the higher hit points of roaches will help you more than the hydralisks do. Now, if you're behind, you need the hydras to cut into the Tempest count. But
I think we
once
should
you're
Yeah, I
probably.
think
who cares about the Tempest anymore? As long as you're always flooding roaches, you'll eventually die.
Yeah, having the roaches on the front line and hydras backing them up, they're functioning really well.
Yeah. When
Although the
when
Tempest
they are in,
focus, yeah.
when their information like that, and yeah, I like adding links to that, which he's doing as well, which also deflect like from the roaches even more, which makes the roaches even tankier.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
to have some
Lings are really
cannon
tanky
fodder on the
versus
front line.
Lings are really
Actually,
tanky versus Tempest as well, because it takes 2 Tempest shots to kill a Zergling, which is a complete waste of Tempest shots.
Yeah.
I think
You
it's 2,
should
right?
never shoot Lings with a Tempest. Something more valuable than Lings.
What are Lings in hit points? I
Is
don't
my
even know. Are they
microphone
25
okay,
hit
guys?
points? Maybe they're 1 shot. Even as a 1 shot, though, it's a waste of Tempest. Damage. Blunty. I haven't watched my games versus Blunty, but I notice I'm getting a bunch of losses against him. Blunty was the best bot to test out my ability to cancel expansions and rebuild them in my main and float them out and all that junk, because he just always puts on like so much pressure on my fast expand.
Yeah.
So he was the bot I tested all this code against.
Oh, nice.
I think Blunty was one of the dummy bots when Infi was making Sharpenedge in the first place. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, that's correct. It's one of the really aggressive Zerg bots.
Oh, I have a bug.
You do?
Ah,
Yeah, when the wall is up, I should not be even attempting to build that command center at the natural. I should be building it in my main base.
Well, your bot disagrees. So
Yeah.
it's
So
it's
there-
got a
Maybe that's why I'm
mind of
losing.
its
I might
own.
have broken something.
new
So,
features,
this is
guys. Sorry, yeah.
So the stream has been already beneficial for you, Getrock. So you have found a couple of more bugs from your bot already.
Yeah, was I there again?
Ah, okay.
Mothership and let me write this down so I don't forget.
So Blunty is a real bot instead of dummy. So this is a real bot instead of one of the dummy bots that was made for training Sharpenedge.
Oh yeah, Blunty's usually like what, top 20 at least on the ladder.
I think it's quite high on the ladder all the time.
Yeah.
It's a
At the
very,
moment,
very
it's on ranked
sorry, go on,
33
Sebastian.
at the moment.
It's very on the end of the spectrum, I think, when it comes to aggressive. It focuses on killing you fast. At least from what I've seen.
Yeah. Well, it has different builds. It opens hatch first sometimes.
To reply to the chat, there's some advantages to use example C++. It's a little bit faster, I mean quite a bit of faster program language rather if you compare example the Python. So you can actually do more calculations with it and have a more complex pathfinding and so on. So yes, there's a little bit advantage to use faster language.
Was there a time limit at the moment on AI Arena? Like,
I
1
think it's
hour.
an hour. Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
the-
but sort of for a bot, how much it uses per iteration?
So we do have a average time limit on SC2AI. I can't remember the exact limit at the moment. Each individual frame can't go longer than 20 seconds, but that's just a kind of like maximum timeout. But I think there is a average time limit. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking that is there a is there a bot currently that is, like, let's say in Python, that is even close to sort of hitting a time
We-
limit constraint?
We had one. I think was it Rorschach or was the author Rorschach or was the bot Rorschach? I can't remember. We had one that was constantly hitting like timeouts on that. And that was basically a marine flood bot that would just end up building like hundreds and hundreds of marines and throwing them at the enemy and trying to move each marine like 10 times a second. It had
Okay.
it had an APM of an average of 120,000, and bot average frame time was ridiculously high. So yeah, and
Yeah, but so like I'm just thinking that it's like probably in practice it like even in that kind of, if you make such a bot, you can just take some care that you don't sort of put the same command all the time, and like that the programming language probably isn't the constraint.
No, you're absolutely right. The main constraint on the actual bot speed generally tends to be the amount of requests you make to the server. So
Yeah.
essentially, a lower APM bot will run faster if it's written in Python than a higher APM bot written in C++. The programming language does make a difference, but nowhere near as much difference as the amount of requests you make. So
There's a
I-
few Python
I-
bots that get really slow in the late game,
I
like
just want
over
to add
100 milliseconds per frame.
I want to add to that that the biggest constraint on Python was, like Savela said, pathfinding. But now there are two libraries that offer pathfinding with very good speed. Yeah, good speed, I guess.
yeah.
Very efficient. One written in C++ with the Python wrapper, and one written by Dr. Infi in Rust.
But I have a
So-
question for Infi in chat. He's saying that he had to optimize Sharpie a lot. That, like, what were you doing in Sharpie that took like too long of a time per frame?
I
I
guess
think
queries, right? If you're doing like
Yeah.
a lot of pathing queries or a lot of placement queries.
one way we get around that now is we do sort of like all the queries of getting the map state very early on at the first couple of frames and then cache that, because you can basically, if when you sort of like decide where to place something, you'll place a pathing query or a placement query to the actual client, and the client will come back and tell you, is that place clear? Does it have anything there or anything? So that also takes some time.
Yeah.
And that,
But I guess that's a good example where like you may hit some like limit in Python. Like, let's say there's a big fight happening, and then your code is like that for every unit you individually evaluate some distances against every enemy unit or whatever, and
Yeah.
there's loads of units, then it may
Exactly.
start making a difference.
yeah. So that is one area where I think the programming language would make a difference, because in that situation you'd have all of the enemy units cached essentially when you do the observation sort of like query at the start of a frame. So let's go back a bit and talk about how the actual frame works. So essentially, what the bot runs in is, when it's running in AI Arena or SC2AI, it runs in a mode called step mode, and what that is basically, it runs at I think 42 frames per second, or 42 point something, and
22.4.
yeah, sorry. Anyway.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's essentially what it is like it will send you the observation command at the start of the step, and then you have to decide what you do with that observation, send any commands back to the query, and at the end of that step, your bot will send a step command back to the client. And once both of the bots have sent that step command to the client, then it goes through the process again and brings back and goes on with the next step. So if a bot is running very slowly and doesn't send that step command for like 100 milliseconds, then that slows down the whole thing. So it doesn't run in real time as a normal game would. But also, what takes time is also the amount of queries. So between each step command, you can send as many queries or actions as you like. So that could be a case of like,
Vidolina, I'm sorry.
yeah. But yeah.
Sorry to cut you. I apologize. I just
No. I also saw that. That is good actually. Yeah. But yeah. So that's
This is actually from Fidolina. This is a Circ version from Fidolina, so it's Sidolina.
nice. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Hey, Vidolina. How are you, man?
And I think this is a Tur version, Tur's version from original Fidolina. So
Or
this is
Terra.
Tyrolina versus Sidolina.
We're gonna have an Olina takeover soon. Everything.
No. There won't be a Protoss version.
Pridolina or Pidolina.
Pyrolina.
I mean, I guess the naming convention, but then like the Fiddolina bot, it would have been named Fiddolina, I guess, which doesn't quite fit the naming convention. So, wait, Fiddolina. Damn it.
I would name it 1A Dolina.
Yeah.
Is this Turax Marauder versus Roach Rush? Oh, Broad Roach Rush though. Without detection, that regen's gonna be issues.
Yeah. That's without detection, that's pretty unbeatable, no matter how good your composition is against it.
Oh man, but Hellbat Marauder is so good against it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even SCVs to repair the Hellbats.
Yeah. Right. Back in a sec, guys.
But if you're able to borrow the roaches every single time before they die, this is not going to end well for Tur.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're getting one shot because there's so much firepower.
As
they're
a player,
popping up and just instantly dying. There's only 3 left or 4 left or something.
Yeah, I think 6 Marauders like one-shot a Roach easily, without upgrades. What I wanted to say... Oh, I also throw in Medivacs. I used to play this composition against Protoss, actually, more than against Zerg. And I would send SCVs to repair the Hellbats and Medivacs, like double healing, to make them as tanky as possible.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
It's a heavy commitment to one base then. If you're going
No, it
2
wasn't
Rax
one base.
Marauder, plus an armory for Hellbats, plus a reactored starport for Medivacs.
It wasn't
They'll
one
never be
base.
able to afford that
that's
at Expo.
It wasn't one
Wackaroach
base.
is
Hey, Andy man. Good evening, man. Or morning, or whatever it is in Canada right now.
I don't think it's quite
He's
more.
US, but it would be the same time zone. It's
US.
like mid-afternoon.
Mid-afternoon. Okay.
Unfortunately, Sidolina got burnt down this time. So, but anyways, it was nice to have it here. So, yeah.
Well, it's not Fidolina, it's Zidolina. And
I like to see how that Roach Rush does in general, though. Like, this is the absolute worst case scenario.
yeah,
Double Rax Marauder, one base. Like,
one base.
you can't imagine a worse
Hellbat.
build versus Prox.
Like the only thing
versus
that
Roach
could be
Rush.
worse is the Raven hovering above those Marauders, which evidently he didn't need. I like the search and destroy logic.
It will not take a long time to find the existing base.
Yeah. My guess is that Fiddlina lost to Spinies Bro Roach Rush, which inspired
mean
Fiddlina to make a Zidalina.
Triggered, yeah.
Don't
Yes,
you mean don't you mean the
Spiny can-
Broach Rush?
The Broach Rush, yeah.
yeah, Spiny can trigger a lot of emotions from other authors. I think
Yes.
it is a
And
good.
sorry,
And here-
Doogie Howser is the next one. New and improved machine learning bot. So it's been trained all over again, and now it's performing better than before.
Interesting. And Queenbot doesn't give a fuck. It's going to spread creep and make queens. So it's going to be interesting.
I like that it's not building like 9 pylons at the start anymore. So he eased up
Yeah,
on the building pylons everywhere code. Of course, as I say that, he built 2 more pylons, but
Yeah, and he just got
No,
his.
that's fine. Is walling in the probes? I think he's going to cancel this one.
Yeah, the
Or
probes.
those probes are not stuck, by the way.
Oh,
They're
they're not
just
stuck?
they're just derping.
Yeah. Although I think they're trying to get up onto the high ground, but I think that hasn't blocked the high ground, obviously.
No, they're just trying to climb inside those doodads. There must be like
It must be a pathing thing, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
But maybe this one cannon is going to be a hero. Well, I mean, if it could happen against any bot, it would be this bot, the bot that doesn't care and makes queens. But queens are pretty good, so I don't know.
Was this the best example game for the new build? I guess if he kills that hatchery, it'll clear the creep, and then eventually he can start building his gateways and stuff on the low ground.
I
But he's
don't
gonna
actually
lose
know
the-
how this will end. I don't remember who queued up the game or told me the game number.
losing that
But
cannon.
anyways,
Put it back into working again.
Okay, now he's going ape shit with cannons. That's interesting. That wasn't before. That's
But
new.
he would
Yeah.
have a lot of minerals to build them, but
Yeah. He floated like 3k minerals while he was stuck in that little corner. All right, this is looking good now.
Yeah.
5 cannons,
Yeah.
6 cannons, all between the third and the natural, and then zealots will eventually start popping.
There we go.
If he's only facing queens and zerglings,
As long as-
this will work out.
As long as he's keeping the queen number at 3, like 4, and not letting them mess up with transfuses, he's winning this.
Oh
I
god,
think.
that's completely walled off now though, so he can't actually get the zealots through.
that's a lot of cannons.
He's trying to expand. Queenbot is trying to expand.
Oh, you're right. It is walled off.
That could be a bug in the pseudo logic Queenbot has.
Yeah.
Because like don't make X queens before you take your 3rd or 4th base or whatever, and it's
Got
trying
some
to take
cannons
it.
up on the top now as well. Oh, those cannons are going to be able to see the mineral line, aren't they?
Oh my god, Doogie Howser, look at you!
That's brilliant. I like that.
They got a probe
That's-
inside the wall, huh?
It's
Yeah.
picking really good spots. It's like I think he added logic to picking where to put the cannons, or just trained it better than it was before.
No,
It's
Duke
impressive
doesn't
for a
ever
machine learning.
transition. This is only a machine learning bot making cannons and cells.
It's impressive for a machine learning bot to do this versus a Zerg and get a victory.
Yeah.
Because like you gotta imagine immediately the creep is like the most gigantic issue for someone trying to win the game with cannons versus
Cannons.
Zerg.
Restructures any structure that is not biological, for that matter.
Interesting to see all the production buildings are in the low ground, away from the enemy units.
Yeah,
Yeah, and those cannons on the high ground, I really like. I mean, I don't remember Doogie Doogie Howser doing something this, like thinking on that level of dimensions, like getting cannons on the high ground to that mineral line, or maybe just because it was like the only option because creep was spreading. I don't know. I
possibly.
still
I think it
that-
tries to build everywhere it can. And if it's in an area that's not powered by a pylon, then it just builds a pylon there.
Yeah, that
But
makes sense.
it tried so hard before. It used to like start by just building like 9 pylons all over the place. So now it's got a little more focus on getting the cannons down instead of just pyloning the entire region. Oh, there is a gap for the zealots to get in and out.
Okay, yeah.
I was wondering how the probe got in there.
I mean, they could have just
I
walked
think-
in there, but yeah.
I think this is part of the machine learning. It does know the building placement for the cannons and so on. So it intentionally left the gap there. Some of the, I mean, at some point of the training, it has realized it can't build a complete wall off. It has to leave some gap there.
Yeah, maybe. Could be scripted as well. Or it could just be luck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
many of those things could be like we only see one game that's not big enough sample to just reverse
Yeah.
engineer everything.
There's a lot of the cases when we're analyzing games of like, oh, what's he done this little thing here? And it's like, oftentimes it's just find somewhere to place it or find something to do, and it's not really intended.
Unintended features, we call
Yes,
those,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, otherwise known as
Yeah.
bugs.
Yeah,
then we
not
have
over
a-
here.
Next game is Danteman versus 4-gate bot.
Oh, interesting.
So if you want to know how to do a proper 4-gate, this one's like this is the one built by Scarlet. So
This is
Oh,
one
nice.
she gets it
with,
down pretty much perfect.
yeah, with the T's with the eyes dotted and the T's how is that say going? Help
Crossed.
me out here.
Yeah, you cross these.
Crossed. Okay. That
Oh,
what
yeah,
he
So
said.
start with the 2 gateways and just pump gateway units from there. Build a third as you can afford it, and make sure you have a proxy pylon with a gateway attached to it for fast warp-ins before you finish warp gate. And then you just hit like a super strong timing, and you got the fast warp-ins across the map. It
Yeah, and
beat my
I'm
bot on the
watching,
ladder several
I'm
times.
watching the numbers and she's on point so far. And now she's supply blocked for maybe actually not. The pylon is finishing perfectly on time. Nice, well
Yeah.
done, Scarlet. It's really
Yeah,
hard
so as long as your
to-
third and fourth gateway are done in time for warp gate, which is chrono boosted out, then this is kind of like the best you can do for a 4-gate.
Yeah, it's on point. That build is refined really. Like she took it to the limit, I think.
And we know 4-gate does well. Like what was that bot on ST2AI? Octopus, I think it's called, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it like mashed like every PvP it played in one of those tournaments, just 4-gating every game.
Yeah, that was.
It might have been a Blink 4-gate, I can't remember, but it just basically
No, I
made more
think it
units and
was-
won.
It was just literally make more units and win
Yeah.
the game. But yeah.
4-gate used to be able to take you up to platinum, maybe diamond, with like just knowing how to execute a 4-gate well.
I mean,
They're
it still
probably
probably
so
can.
Yeah.
Like,
But so what?
It's not as good with the new economy. It would have worked better back in like Heart of the Swarm, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
lots of units and attacking with them is never a bad idea for winning a game.
fast and units that are superior, especially in this stage of the game. Like Stoker
Yeah.
is worth much more in this stage of the game.
I'm not convinced this game's over though. 3 Cyclones with good micro is not it's not an easy
Yeah,
task
but
for
the
stalkers.
factory is going. Yeah. Well, if the 4-gate bot is not expanding or doing anything else other than stream in units, maybe the Dan can actually hold this. But he's losing the production.
I think the
speed.
buildings will go down faster than it's able to kill all the coming in units from the 4-gate bot.
And
He
eventually
also
he's
has to
gonna
kill
run-
an entire base of units with these 3 cyclones because he has no production left.
Yeah, and eventually those cyclones.
He's repairing
run
them. They
out
might
of
last that long. I'm still not
Okay,
calling this
yeah.
game. It's
No, I think
3 cyclones with repair with good micro.
I mean,
Let's see.
it's the same concept like the borrowed roaches, right?
Yeah.
They could have infinite value here, potentially.
He's run out of
I
SCVs though.
don't
No
see
more
it.
repair.
Yeah, I don't see it myself. Like,
Every time he
Definitely.
locks on, he's going to take a shot.
Yeah, if he can't repair then eventually those will die. There's
All right.
no
It was a
running.
valiant effort though. Those three
Yeah.
guys almost did it. I think
Scarlet,
Scarlet
First
puts
of all, I
emphasis
just
on
want to
focusing workers, so that came in handy this game.
I wanted to tell to Scarlett and everybody that's with us that you're welcome to join the channel, Cast to Stream, and then you will be in the conversation with voice with us. And secondly, why did you pick Protoss, Scarlett? I expected to see a kick-ass Zerg out of you.
But so, what's the reason for the forward gateway? I missed that.
You get faster warp-ins off the pylon if it's next to a gateway or nexus.
I never
Okay,
knew that.
was that always like that, or is that the Legacy of the Void thing? Because I
It might have
don't.
been Heart of the Swarm, but it's been that way for
Okay,
maybe
because
3 years
yeah.
plus, something like
Oh,
that.
okay.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I only played Wings of Liberty and I don't remember it being like that, so I was a bit confused at what's going on. Maybe I
Yeah,
should.
they wanted to take away the
Wait, wait.
offensive advantage of warp-ins, especially in PvP where there's like no defensive advantage.
Yeah. Okay.
So they made the warp-ins tougher. If you want to proxy a pylon, you gotta commit more to it if you want the fast pylons.
Okay.
Warp Prism also gives you a fast warp-in.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I just want for the record to note that Scarlett has just said that Protoss is easy, the easiest to play.
Shots
It's
fired.
your main
right
race
there.
too. She off races in every
Yeah.
pro match except for versus DRG.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
shit.
this is not some I'm a GM and I know this is someone who has been to GSL multiple times. So yeah,
As
sorry.
as a Protoss main, I can also agree with that. So, but yeah, as a Protoss main of nowhere near the skill of Scarlet, but yeah.
Yeah, nobody
makes-
here
so-
thought you're as near as good as Scarlet. Don't worry.
Wait! Did my performance in the Authors tournament tell you anything? Like, I'm pro. Like, actually,
yeah, you-
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the skills transfer between races, right? So basically, any pro is at least a GM with any off race.
Yeah.
But Scarlet actually played a pro match as Protoss, so
Oh,
I'm sure her Protoss is
I'm sure she
higher than a
beat
typical
me
off race.
with one hand.
Put it this way: she's not going to be
Tied
allowed.
behind. Yeah,
She's not going to
okay.
be allowed into the next Authors tournament.
Yeah,
If I'm not allowed in, then
agreeing
she's
with
definitely
you.
not allowed in.
It's gonna be like, okay, who is going to take second place? Yay!
I mean, like, if we let her in, we'd have to let Ketrock in as well. And then it's just like, as long as we got Doctor in there, it's just who's going to take fourth place.
But we used
We
to have
could-
these little local LAN tournaments in Toronto,
Yeah.
and Massa would show up to every single one of them. So it was like a whole bunch of like diamond players and like this Terran pro. So it literally was always a race for second place.
But what
Yeah.
makes so interesting this bot programming? Even though if you are a GM player, even amateurs like myself, I'm a Bronze League hero, so I do have a chance against those GM players in a bot match.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. But no, she's done amazingly well to get a bot out this fast and winning some games as well. So,
So is
hopefully-
it built? Is it built on top of Sharpie or just the Python SE2?
Just just Python SC2, and that was. I just want to make sure Scarlett got the question from Saveras. That was a good question. He was asking basically, what professional player like you? How did you get here? You're very welcome, and we love you. But what drew you into wanting to make a bot?
Is Ketrock PMing this?
I think it's that factory.
Yeah. Oh, he's just
Yeah, I think
floating.
what I had on the ladder was like the greediest Mass Raven opener I had, so it's not going to do well versus Fargate. So it involves not even using the factory. So I just floated away, and
It's floating in the
So
corner.
this
is
is what
this
my
going
bot
to
looks
be
like
one?
when it gets sent to last structure too, just randomly moving all over the map until it finds it.
Oh my
Yes.
god, she doesn't build any Stargate at all, I think. So this is done. It's a tie.
No, she's got it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah?
think it's like a 13-minute game. Yeah, I saw the I saw it listed under my games. It was a 13-minute loss.
Andy man, did you read the chat above your last line? Scarlett watched you guys casting the tournament, and now she's one of us.
One of
That's
us.
that's
One of
awesome.
us.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
no,
good.
you've got
Oh, is that a
a
real Phoenix?
that's a Raven. Raven Phoenix.
Oh, that's a real Phoenix. So there you go.
It's a real one, yeah. Yeah, there's a Stargate there.
Stalkers can
Yeah,
keep doing
okay,
their
so
defense. Phoenix
I
got
think we can skip
Yeah.
unless you guys really want to watch
go
Blood
ahead.
Phoenix.
No, go and skip to the next. It's cool.
That's the last from last one I did have queued up. So
Did we have
did
the extra
someone
one?
queue up?
There
What
was one
was
from
again?
Raf as well, wasn't there, that we wanted to watch?
Yeah, I'll add it.
Oh, it wasn't added eventually?
I don't know. Obviously not, because it's saying no matches queued. But I can find that one if you like.
I got it.
Okay, cool. Oh wait, that's Sharpened Edge Ketrock.
What?
What it's saying it is.
I don't know. He just left the number. Maybe he wrote down the wrong one. He makes it
Possibly.
sound like it's a Micro Machine loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. 1 second. You wrote the number right. The number is correct.
Let me check on AI Arena, see what I can find
Okay.
what he's talking about.
Maybe maybe Sharpened Edge beats Ketrock and he wishes he would have lost like that.
But the RAF game is Gensi versus Micro Machine. Or Testbot versus Micro Machine.
Oh yeah. Sometimes AI Arena has trouble loading.
Maybe
try one
because
time.
we did new twice. I did
Pay attention to what the message says on the PowerShell screen. Yeah, it says something failed.
Oh, okay.
Is that right for this game?
This far because it's being used by another process.
Oh no, that was not this game. Testbot versus Micro Machine.
that means
So
that
it's trying to load
replay
it.
is
Let's see how it
yeah,
works.
something
Yeah.
is trying to access it. Maybe it's because it's threading, so we have to wait a little bit.
Hey,
It's
Yamabushi.
loading. It's loading. It's loading now. Yay!
Ah, cool.
Hello, Yamabushi. Unfortunately, you're a little bit too late. We are having probably our last game for the night. We are checking Gensi against Micro Machine.
Although you're more than welcome to jump in the chat, even so.
So this is Genzi beating
please
Micro
join.
Machine without cheese. This will be interesting.
Yeah.
I saw this game earlier on. I've been following Gensi quite a bit, so this was interesting game. Raf, you have to be careful. Gensi is coming after your head.
Well, I wouldn't put it that dramatically, but certainly coming after your title. I mean, coming after the crown, maybe you can keep the head.
I always enjoy watching Gen Z. Always.
Yeah, definitely.
Simon, I'm not spoiling anything. Everybody knows when we are watching a Micro Machine game on the stream, it's always losing.
Yes. It happens pretty rarely, so we have to actually like expose that when it does happen.
99% win rate on the ladder, but 0% win rate on our community stream.
Yeah, yeah.
We should
Yeah.
we should really put down a game where he wins some one week just to confuse people.
We should do like weekly, like whoever gets it, wins a prize or something. Like we cast like 3 Micro Machine games,
Yeah.
or more like 10 Micro Machine games. 9 of them are losses. If we can find 9 from the last week, and whoever guesses the right one, I don't know,
Wins a cookie.
a cookie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Be warned, I don't give away my cookies lightly. Yes. That
Okay,
might be
so
Go ahead. Sorry.
Micro Machine, I know, is also experimenting with new features lately, so you could also expect to see bugs happening.
Yeah.
1 second, my dog wants some attention.
Yep.
Well, he
Just
didn't
give
make it sound like he
attention
lost by a
back
bug,
monster.
so
Yeah.
I think
Did
it's
you-
probably Gen Z winning rather than Micro Machine losing.
Yeah.
Probably. I wonder what we're going to see here, because I know Gen Z is working on some really creative and beautiful, complex plays.
Micro Machine has some tanks this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say I was hoping to find some inspiration on dealing with cyclones, but apparently Micro Machine's not doing much cyclone pressure, so he's finally added siege tanks to his bot, deciding to prefer them.
Yeah. It's a nice addition. It's been a while
I
coming.
think he was having issues versus Straylock with using pure Cyclone versus Straylock's Cyclones plus tanks.
Yeah.
So that inspired Micro Machine to start adding tanks of his own. Very unprotected siege tanks, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's certainly not perfected it
Unfortunately,
yet.
Gen Z does have quite a bit of advantage with so good tank management compared to the Micro Machines. I'm not saying it's relatively bad for Micro Machine, but Gen Z is so outstanding with the tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really
Yeah,
keeps the
and
marine support right tight to the tanks too.
He's been
Which is very
refining
important.
this. Yeah, I agree. He's been refining this for a long, long time, and he still is refining it over and over. So, yeah, it's looking good. It's looking really good. So, I wonder what's triggering those army movements when the. I guess it's some kind of a patrol between the natural and the third by Gen Z's main army. Oh, that's interesting. It's now splitting into. There's a group on the top left, if you guys can see, which I assume is going to flank. And
It's
at
a
the
little
same
marine
time,
hit squad. He just runs
the
it
same
around like clockwise and counterclockwise and flushes out all the workers and expansion bases he finds.
and
They
it timed
killed one
exactly
base
when,
already, or stopped its construction, I guess.
Yeah, he
and
did.
it was timed exactly when Micro Machine was attacking out on the map. So I don't know if he predicted it or it was just luck or whatever, but it was pretty nice.
Luck, I think.
Probably.
And Gen Z is using those towers. How do you call them? Sensor towers, and it's
Yeah.
able to advance. I mean, to take the tanks into position before enemies there. So I think it's a quite clever thing to do.
Yeah, Gen Z is probably the most advanced when it comes to terrain and vision. He takes out Naga towers as well. Uses sensor towers.
Sensor towers,
Uses that
man.
thing built by Lad with the map analyzer to take the right side of a choke point when he fights.
Yeah, he's using choke points really well, really well. And
That little Marine hit squad is so powerful. Like when he attacks into my planetary, he kills every single SCV. just with this before the Marines can die.
Nice.
So it's impressive what a handful of Marines can do when they can all individually
and
target
look,
fire SCVs.
look at the minimap. They're getting out alive. He didn't even trade anything for that. He gets the Marines back.
Yeah, I think that's new. I've never seen
Yes.
him try to save them before. They usually just go until they're dead. But now he must have some sort of a threshold to retreat.
Well, they
Yeah,
killed
once
the
once
command
they are
center.
able to clear the base, they are retreating back home, and he's trying to save them. The minerals are precious, even though we are speaking only Marines that are meant to be died on the battlefield. But anyways, he's trying to save them.
Micro Machine is definitely vulnerable to this sort of stuff too. He builds all of his command centers in position. He makes them all orbital commands. So if you can get the
Terran-
multi-tier harass going, it'll work well versus him.
Yeah, I don't think Micro Machine can beat that now. When Gen Z takes up control of such large area of the map, like covering with siege tanks and Marines and Vikings hovering above, I don't see how Micro Machine can.
Yeah.
And there is another hit squad on the left.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah,
constantly denying that base at 9 o'clock, as well as the one in the bottom right.
Yeah, he's just got
Well
choke
played,
points in
Gen Z.
there. Yeah.
There's constant pressure on the new expansions. They're constantly going down with the Marines, so it's really effective.
Yeah. What do you know? Especially against bots who are. I think it's safe to say that out of if we take the entire time Micro Machine played StarCraft, maybe 3% of that entire time he was in a situation where he's getting attacked from more than one angle, like where he
Yeah.
has to split its army.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
And you've seen little hit squad just down near the natural, and there's one on the at the 5 o'clock now. So yeah, it's pretty impressive.
One
Yeah,
Marine.
The other thing is the addition of tanks for Micro Machine makes him a little less mobile.
Yeah.
Much
So
less mobile.
mobility might have been able to deal with like these hit squads all over the place when you have more Cyclones and Banshees and stuff, but might be an
And
unexpected
you're saying,
downside to having tanks.
you're
There is
saying
that
that
Banshee there,
planetary
yeah.
doesn't. Ketork, you're saying that planetary doesn't is not effective against the Marine hit squad?
Not with bot micro. I mean, it'll kill all the Marines, but before that happens, the Marines will kill every SCV at the planetary.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so the idea is to keep the economy going. So yeah.
Test bot is Gen Z bot's test bot. He is using to refine the strategies for the Gen Z, and this one is against Micro Machine. Micro Machine is the number one on the ladder, and Gen Z is challenging him quite hardly at the moment.
There are 4 different combats, 5 now, in different places on the minimap at the same time.
Yeah.
The only downside with this Marine harass is that by the time it's come out, it's not that important anymore to kill workers. Like once your opponent has like 5 command centers, then killing workers isn't that big of a deal because they can be replaced so easily. But still super effective. I think what made it really effective this game is the fact that it's denying bases.
Yeah, more than killing workers.
Yeah.
Micro Machine has to rebuild all the bases, all the workers, and that is consuming a lot of resources.
And you can see that it is broke and on 150 supply.
Man, I love the Marine movement on Gen Z bot. This is a decision of like, I'm going to dive in and kill this tank, and then I'm going to pull back to where my tanks are.
Yeah.
Keeping your Marines alive what is so important for your siege tanks and probably so difficult to code.
Yeah, this is so working so nicely. It's a pleasure to the eye.
You just see that highlight from on the Probots channel where who is it against? Spud, I think, maybe from last season.
Yeah.
With the Ravens?
Where
With
like he
the-
breaks a
Yeah.
tank line using like Marines covering his tanks and then like killing the enemy air and then setting up liberators to kill the siege tanks. It was so methodically done and just so it's just the way a human player would do it.
Yeah. There was
Yeah,
also
yeah.
I think another moment where like he sort of comes in with the air units, and then my Marines, like they only see the air units, they run after them, and then the tanks are waiting. Like like it was pretty funny.
Outside vision, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you guys think of this game? Did you see any flaws on Micro Machine? I think it played quite well. Unfortunately, Gen Z was way better than Micro Machine on this game. Or what do
Yeah.
you think?
I think it's like Kedrock was saying, really, like there seems to be less of the initial cyclone pressure from Micro Machine at the moment with his new build. I think that might be hurting in some of the games. So I think I like the addition of tanks, but I think
It was a bit weird when Gen Z was, I think, only on 2 bases, maybe building the third one, and then Micro Machine was like ramming through with 3 tanks to the natural or something,
Yeah.
and then a Banshee from behind, but it didn't, like the tanks didn't really do anything there.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can definitely
basically,
tell he's new with the tanks. He
Micro
doesn't
Machine
cover them
had
well, so they kind of get off on their own and die. And you can see he hasn't made the adjustment for having the lack of mobility now.
yeah,
He has a
you
PFS
just
natural
can't
too
go.
for some weird reason.
Yeah, you just can't go Leroy Jenkins with the tanks, so that's a doom.
Yeah. It's not like cyclones that you can just micro them back and make them in and out.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing actually. With like if you move to tank-based play, that like does the, because it like a lot of the units that Micro Machine uses are sort of that they like micro in a similar way, that they are fast and they go back and forth and so on. But with tanks, you
Mobile, yeah.
have to play differently a bit.
He doesn't really use tanking units per se. Like there's no Hellions or Marines or Hellbats. So when you move out with like 3 tanks and 2 Cyclones, like the Cyclones aren't going to cover the tanks and keep them alive from damage. The
Yeah,
Cyclones are
there's
going to back up
no
and then leave
meat
the
shield.
tanks to die.
I think for Micro Machine it would be more beneficial not to siege up the tanks at all.
Yeah, there's decision making with that. That's probably important.
I love our Gen Z spreading his army, controlling. The bot is not showing us. Look at this area. How is the Marines are like can get to the back line tank quick enough if they need.
I just like how bots can still do the Viking flower.
Unfortunately, it wasn't so visible on this game, but the Viking control for Gen Z, you have to check one of the replays afterwards on your own computer and check how the Vikings work. That's just amazing.
Yeah.
Well played, Gen Z. Really good
Mhm.
Yeah,
game. I
definitely,
really
yeah.
enjoyed.
And nice improvements there on the other bot. So
Yeah,
it'd be good.
and we if these games are gonna keep coming, we're going to need to upgrade our observer, our auto observer, because when 5 different fights are happening in 5 different places, the observer doesn't know what to do.
I mean, any observer wouldn't know what to do in that case. So it's not just the auto observer. I think we need to give our robots a bit of a break on that one.
When would Gen Z
Yeah.
and Micro Machine run into each other in the Probots tournament? I know it's not this week, but could they play each other next week?
No.
I'm not sure.
Chelsea, if Chelsea wins now, he's facing Sharpie, PvP Easy or MyBot. So it will be
Oh.
after that.
Guys, if you look in chat here, we have a declaration which I tend to respect. Fridolina is planning to win.
No, that's
Okay.
good. Anyway, guys, I'm probably gonna call it here.
Yeah, me too.
Cheers for the stream, guys. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's been a lot of fun. I've missed you guys, and that was the impressive game, Genzi. I just wanted to say again, really
Yeah.
enjoyed watching it.
Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you everyone for being here. Next week, same place, same time. Please keep coming those replays. Without those, we are doing nothing here. So it was great to have new blood here also. So welcome.
Good games, guys, and
Cool.
good night.
Good night.
Good night. See you. Bye bye.